Hi, it's Luke from Oadby, and I've come to the Oadby golf course near the race course, and it's all to find out about what's been happening to the golf course since it closed nearly 7-8 years ago. And I've come to meet a gentleman by the name of Anders, who's been working tirelessly to get the golf course back into its former glory, but also he's got some fantastic new technology that's helping golfers improve their technique but also have fun at the same time. So let's pop into the greenhouse, quite well named, and we'll find out a little bit more. Oh, I've not ordered the weather today. Right, so I'm here to see Anders. Hi Anders.
Afternoon, Luke. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I forgot to order the sunshine.
I can see that.
So, but I've heard some great things about what's been going on, because the golf course has been closed for probably 7-8 years now, and I've heard about some technology that you're using to help golfers with their technique, but also have fun at the same time.
We are. So, I'm looking forward to showing you the Top Tracer range, the Midlands only, full 100% Top Tracer range. It's quite incredible.
But it's not hard to use, is what I've heard as well. So there's people using it. So I'd love to have a guide of or a tour of the
Let me show you around.
So,
here we go. So the driving range. Hey, sure. So this was the old 1st and 18th.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then where the second white flags are, I used to go drop downhill a lot to the green.
Yes.
And so I brought in 2,000 lorries of soil. Wow. Built in a road, brought in 2,000 lorries to raise the level of the land up. So we've got a nice flat, big, long driving range. And then took the road back out, seeded it over. Now you wouldn't know it had ever been there.
No.
But it was just a messy old business.
Yeah.
But it meant that we lost the 1st and the 18th of the golf course.
Yeah.
However, we've built 2 new holes out there to make up for it again. So we've got a nice 9 holes now.
Yes. Oh, fantastic.
And you can see how busy it is already. This is how it is.
So Tuesday morning, and there's only a couple of spaces left.
Yeah.
And it's nice and pleasant.
It's properly finished. It's carpeted, it's warm, it's cosy. And with the Top Tracer in every bay.
Yeah, so this Top Tracer then, so it detects how far the ball's gone, because I'm just looking at that one, so it looks like 130 odd yards that's gone.
So these guys are in a practice mode, if you like, so it'll track every shot they hit, it'll tell them how far it's gone, how far from the pin they've ended up, every bit of data that ball you can have from cameras in the ceiling.
Oh, okay, so the camera tracks.
It's tracked, it's not predicted, it's actually tracked.
Wow.
And it's the same technology they use on the TV called Pro Tracer, Top Golf.
So when you see it, so when Tiger Woods fires off on the tee and it does that little white line.
This is the same company, same technology.
Wow.
It's the leading, there is nothing more modern or up to date than this, and we've got it in every bay. And we're the first facility in the Midlands to have this.
Well, like I said, I don't know of anywhere else.
But it also allows us to practice. We can play virtual golf.
Right.
So this week is Pebble Beach. There's a tournament called US Open at Pebble Beach. We can play Pebble Beach on here.
Yeah.
And 4 of us can come up in an evening and have a round of golf.
Yeah.
And a few pints. It's cracking.
Yeah, brilliant.
And this is where I spend most of my time.
Oh, okay.
Which is in the studio.
Oh, okay. This is where all the magic happens.
This is where
become the next pro golfer then.
And then, so in here I do all my coaching in here. So the door. Do you want me to open the door?
Yeah, let's have a good look.
See it?
Yeah. So if someone wanted lessons,
this is where they come.
This is where they'll come.
And so this was a chap this morning.
Yeah.
So we've got cameras built in there and there, high-speed cameras, so you can slow people's golf swings down frame by frame by frame by frame.
So you can see where they're going wrong.
Show them. And then this flight scope there is a radar.
Okay.
So that's a camera system out there.
Yeah.
This is a radar system that tracks the ball and gives us all data of the shot. So you can do some quite in-depth analysis.
Yeah.
We do custom fitting.
Wow.
So we're made to measure golf clubs for people from ping and tightness.
Yeah.
All here. And this is the studio, and these are the different coaching awards that I've been fortunate enough to win.
So you know your way around a golf club then pretty well.
You'd like to think so. You'd like to think so, Luke.
Yeah. So So if someone wanted to have lessons, how can they get in contact with you?
They can call us on 0116 275 0549.
Yeah.
They can visit the website, leicestergolfcentre.co.uk.
Okay.
We're on Twitter, Leicester Golf.
Facebook,
Instagram, all of them.
Pop down,
pop in. Anybody's
pop
welcome
into the
here.
cafe, into the shop.
The difference here is everybody's welcome here. At all times.
So that it's not like a members club or anything like that.
This is a club for everybody.
Okay.
So there's no dress codes. On the range, on the golf course, anywhere. I'm not interested in what people wear.
Okay.
I'm interested in if they're here to have a good time.
So there isn't any kind of snob value
None.
or anything
Zero.
like that. Brilliant.
Absolute zero. You'll get there's service with a smile in the coffee shop.
And good coffee.
They're good coffee. And we're interested. We want people to come here. We get loads of ladies come. Who are new to the game. Never played before, but they're welcomed here. There's no intimidation here.
No.
It's literally. You've seen the range this morning. It's 11 o'clock on a Tuesday. It is rammed. People just having a nice time.
The weather's not great to go out on the golf course, but I think some people have still gone out. They're braver.
But it's just a nice place to come. And it is open to everybody. And that's how we like it.
No, it's great. And the facility that you've got here with the cameras and just being able to help people. And
what I wanted to do was build a world-class facility. And it is. This driving range with the top tracer in every bay, the studio, the way we kitted out, this is world-class facilities here in Leicester.
Well, like I said, 2,000 trucks of soil to come in to get a great driving range.
To shape the range.
To shape the range. Absolutely fantastic. And so you mentioned it's a 9-hole course. It's a 9-hole course. And when are you open?
We opened 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so you've not been open very long.
2 weeks.
But it doesn't get like this straight away. How long's the planning been in getting it to this stage?
2 years.
Wow.
2 years. We started.
So 2017 is when.
And it's taken 18 months of solid graft, and I mean 7 days a week, to get the golf course back. My dad's been helping out. He's out mowing 3-4 days a week. I've had the wife out mowing. Where I worked previously, I would teach from 7 in the morning till 12. Then I would drive over here, and then I'd get on a mower for 5 hours. And then I'd go back and teach till 8 o'clock at night, 7 days a week.
To get it looking like it is, now.
And I've got the UK's youngest greenkeeper. He's 20, Adam Preston.
Okay.
And he's done a phenomenal job to get this place back. And he's just grafting and grafting.
Well, it looks really established. And we were talking earlier because it had not been used for about 7 or so years since it last closed down. And when you came in, the grass was up here. And things. And I don't know if you've got any photos that we'll be able to share because it's the kind of thing that people are interested in. But now the maturity of the course with the trees and obviously how they've grown over that time, does look a really fantastic facility.
It's a members club quality, but open to everybody. So pay and play golf, I guess traditionally has had a bit of a reputation for being
the quality. The quality is not there.
You compromise on the quality, but it's accessible. And what I've tried to build here is a quality golf course. Well, you'll see it when we drive around.
And you can come and pay and play.
And it is beautiful. But it's open to everybody. So you can come and pay and play. For £12, you can have a round of golf on a top quality golf course. And nobody's going to pull you up on what colour your socks are.
No, good, fantastic. Well, I'd love to have a drive around the course. So is that okay if we go and have a drive? Let's go.
So why don't we drive over the first and I'll take you round. So the first hole runs parallel to the driving range. We used to be the old 6th hole. Bunkers have all been rebuilt. You can see that they're all spot on. And the greens have come back an absolute treat. It took a lot longer than I was hoping. But now...
Well, you're saying because we had that gorgeous summer last year and that probably didn't do you any favours with it being too hot and trying to get them back into a
What happened was we gave the greens a feed and then the irrigation broke down.
Oh, okay.
So we couldn't get water for 2 weeks and they just baked and cracked open and any small chance I had of opening last year was gone at that point. And then this March I was hoping to open. But the course was stunning, but the greens weren't ready. So I thought, right, well, maybe April. So we were out watering and seeding and everything, but April they still weren't ready. because I just didn't want to open until it was ready.
Yeah.
And I wanted to over deliver and surprise people, not the other way around.
Yeah.
And that left us then into May, and at the very end of May, we got some nice rain, some good sunshine, and the greens just flourished.
Yeah.
And then I knew they were ready.
Yeah.
And as soon as I knew the greens were good, we were good to go.
Yeah. That's a nice little feature with the tees, with the horseshoes.
They're made of racehorse shoes.
Yeah.
Actual racehorse shoes.
And obviously, because we're running parallel now to the racecourse, aren't we?
And the tee markers there are made from a solid oak tree trunk.
Wow.
And what happened was, when we built the range, we had to take out an oak, unfortunately, that had been there for quite some time. We had to take it out to bring the lorries in.
Yeah.
And I made the tee signs have all been made from that oak's tree trunk.
Oh, brilliant.
And the tee markers, the oak logs as they're called, are also from that same oak.
So they're from the branches.
Yeah. So that every tee has
and does every hole have a name? Like this one's called the Gallops?
No, the golf course is called the Gallops.
Oh, the golf course is called the Gallops.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there are no plastics out here. There's no plastic signs, tee markers, anything. They're recycled horseshoes, recycled oak.
Brilliant.
Everything.
Yeah.
And what's lovely is we've got 70 acres here in Leicester.
Wow.
Completely surrounded by Leicester.
Yeah.
And we've got some incredible wildlife.
Yeah.
We've got deer,
we've
got muntjac deer, we've got roe deer, kingfishers, buzzards, red kites, woodpeckers, foxes, badgers. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's a little oasis of nature.
Yeah.
So you walk around having a game of golf, you come and stumble upon all sorts of wildlife.
Well, you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere all of a sudden, don't you?
So this is the second hole here.
Yeah.
Quite a challenging hole, this one, actually.
Yes. So how long?
This is 404 yards, par 4. Quite narrow, as you can see. But
it's got its challenges.
It's nice because the golf course, we've got 3 different sets of tees.
Yeah.
So on a traditional golf course, you'd have men's tees, ladies' tees, competition tees.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Okay.
We have horseshoes, logs, and whites.
Okay.
And you can play whichever one you want.
Yeah.
So the ladies can play from whichever tee they want.
Yeah.
If they want to play from the front, crack on.
Yeah.
If you've got ladies who are very accomplished golfers who would prefer to play from the back tees, which they would never be allowed to at a traditional members club, they can play off the back here because it's testing them. And if you get some of the older guys who, quite frankly, would enjoy their golf more from the front tees, they would never do that.
Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all. It's about coming in to enjoy yourself, isn't
Correct.
it? As much. It's a good day out, but it's all about coming to enjoy yourself and having fun.
Exactly. So if you enjoy your golf a little bit more by playing from the front tees and it keeps you in the game, come and do it.
Yeah.
There's no. For me, it's an obvious way to do it, but there doesn't seem to be anyone else doing that at the moment, and I can see some of the older guys, particularly, who are going to leave the game because they're not hitting it so far anymore, and actually they could enjoy themselves playing off the front tees.
Yeah.
And just open it up to everybody. Let's not. Let's do away with a lot of the rules and the stuffiness of it.
Yeah, it's all about giving the access to the sport, and at the end of the day, sport's there for people to enjoy.
Correct. And the same with the kids. You know, the technology involved on the range now is tremendous.
Yeah.
And
I bet you the kids.
They're all over it.
They're probably teaching the adults how to use it.
Within 10 minutes, they're there teaching the adults how to use it.
Yeah. So this is the
third hole now.
Okay.
This is a new one. This used to be the old 17th back in the day.
Yeah, I remember this one because of these tees stayed the same.
The tees are in the same
position. I remember this from when I've played it.
And what we did with this one was it was a par 5 that we've now turned into a par 4 followed by a par 3. Okay. So we've built a completely new, beautiful hourglass-shaped green up there to make it into a par 4.
Okay.
Then a par 3 up the hill.
Yeah.
Because we'd obviously lost a couple of holes to the range.
Yes.
So we needed to make that back up.
Yeah, it's always nice to be rewarded with a shorter hole.
Yeah. Now, I've never driven across here before, so hopefully the bridge will take it.
And then we've even got some water hazards as well.
Yeah, the nice river there.
The river going.
There's kingfishers that live in these banks here.
Yeah.
Beautiful things. So next time you come, you'll have to play rather than drive around in the rain.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to come back for our August episode of Love Oadby.
Yeah.
Maybe turn it into a challenge.
So there you see the new.
Yeah.
It's lovely that.
Yeah, no, it does look nice. So how often? Because I would imagine there's a lot of maintenance and upkeep. So how often are the greens cut?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fairways are 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And the rough is done 1 day a week.
Wow.
And this hole here is a new par 5. Used to be a par 4 back in the day, a long one.
Yeah, that's a long.
But we built a new tee, so we pushed the tee back a bit further.
Yeah.
And
so
made
you've
it
still
into
got that water hazard because the stream comes across.
Right. And so we stretched this hole to 485 to make it into a par 5.
Yeah. So with the different pars on each hole, is there a distance then that dictates that it becomes a par 3, a par 4, and a par 5?
Yeah, so generally speaking, sort of the short holes are par 3s up to about 220, 230 you'd have as a par 3. Ours are only 140 and 150, so playable for absolutely everybody.
Yeah.
And then you're up to about 460 would be a par 4.
Yeah.
And after that it would become a par 5. So you play up there, back down the hill on the par 5.
Yeah.
And then we go to one of the holes that you would have recognised last time, which is really narrow. It's my favourite hole. It's a shortish par 4. It's only about 300.
Yeah.
But it's a test for anybody because it is really narrow.
So if someone wanted to come along and play on the course, when's the course open for people to come and play?
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
Monday to Sunday?
7 days a week.
What times can they turn up?
On the weekends, we open at 7 a.m.
Okay.
And close at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And Monday to Friday, we open at 8 a.m.
So by closing at 8 p.m, is that when they can tee off for the first time, or when they've got to be finished?
No,
by?
the gates are locked.
Yeah. The gates are locked at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in the week, we open at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And we close at 10 p.m.
Wow.
So the range, the top tracer range, is open floodlit and open till 10. You see.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a cracking par 4.
Yeah.
Really narrow, as you can see.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yes. Yeah.
And it dog legs round the corner there.
Yeah, that's nice. That is.
And then we've built these. I think they call them bug hotels.
Yeah.
Over there,
where you stack the logs up in a form, so then the bugs can create their habitat
to attract all sorts of wildlife. And we've got 4 or 5 of those dotted around the course, which is nice. Now this one is a par 4, the 7th. This is a long par 4. This is 430 off the back tees from the horseshoes.
Okay.
Over the river, up to the green in the corner there.
And this is an example of where, if you aren't up to a challenge of a hole, then you've got the white tees.
The other side of the river.
The other side of the river. So
anybody can play it.
Yeah. So children playing off that tee, if you bring in children along.
Yeah, ladies or beginners who might not feel up to hitting it over the river yet, we start them here.
Yeah.
So anybody can just come and play from whatever tees they want.
Yeah.
Now this is quite nice because this hole here.
Yeah.
Most days you'd see herons sitting on this bank.
Oh, okay.
So there's 2 or 3 herons and I think it's called a great white egret.
Yeah.
Sits on this bank, which is a white heron.
Okay.
And they fish down here.
Wow.
Which is great. And we've got a family of foxes that live in this wood pile here.
Yeah.
And on the left, a bit further up, 2 or 3 very tall trees that have woodpeckers in.
Right.
Noisy boys they are.
Yeah, you can't mistake the noise of a woodpecker.
No.
So you mentioned that you got the youngest greenkeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a lad called Adam Preston who works for me. He is my greenkeeper.
Yeah.
And
so he's the one responsible for keeping the greens cut every day.
Yeah. And him and Jordan Baker, who helps out as well on a part-time basis. Between them, they basically run this place, the golf course.
Yeah.
My dad, who's 75, gets out on the gang mows and cuts the rough.
Yeah.
But the job Adam has done here is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's only 20. He's
wow.
UK's youngest greenkeeper.
Yeah.
And he's got the responsibility of 70 acres to maintain.
Wow.
And he not only has he brought it back to life, what he's done with it is astonishing.
There's another bug hotel there.
Yep.
So this is
a new hole completely.
Yeah. Okay.
So this was just a field back in the day, as you would probably remember it. It's now a par 3, 140 yards uphill.
Yeah.
To a beautiful new green.
Yeah.
And we've got some wood carvings out here as well.
Yeah,
so we've got an owl here carved from one tree trunk. From
the course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And done by a chainsaw artist. It's actually done by chainsaw.
Wow.
Believe it or not. But it's a nice, adds to the wildlife theme here.
Yeah. It's a nice feature to have.
Yeah. So this is a lovely par 3 up the hill.
So what's the overall par for the course?
35.
35.
So if you want to go around twice, it's a par of 70.
Yeah.
But 9 holes there's a big move for 9 holes of golf because of the time.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody's got
the time to
5-6 hours to
play 18
dedicate
holes. Yeah.
But you can get around here in an hour and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. Cup of tea, coffee afterwards, and if you do that 7 o'clock start on a weekend.
Yeah, you can be home by 10.
Yeah.
And then this is the 9th hole that brings you back.
So this brings us back to
over the brow of the hill.
Yeah.
330 yard par 4, slight dogleg over the hill.
That's a lovely course. You must be really pleased with how it's looking.
Yeah, I mean it's beautiful.
From probably when you got the keys to what have I let myself in for? Possibly.
There was a lot of that.
Yeah.
And we had equipment breakdowns. We had a greenkeeper that let us down and just dropped us in the lurch, never turned up for work again.
Right.
And at that point I just thought, I do not know where to turn.
Yeah.
And then we've had people just come out of the woodwork and help me out.
Yeah.
Volunteers, people have come and just say, how can I help you?
Yeah. Oh,
and say my dad's out mowing, I've been out mowing, the wife's been out mowing, and these young lads, these young greenkeepers who are helping me out are just grafters.
Yeah.
You know, they are just non-stop. And it's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Even other golf clubs have come forward.
Have they?
In the area.
Yeah.
Have come forward and said, how can we help you?
Yeah.
Because they're seeing what we're doing here is we're creating golfers.
Yes.
So we're not in competition with these guys.
The thing is, though, you will go to other local courses, won't you? Because you'll come to here, but maybe you fancy a change, so you'll go and try somewhere else. And it's these courses that are getting people back into the sport, or getting people to try the sport because it's accessible, it's on their doorstep. We're
trying to open the doors to golf, take away the barriers to it, take away some of the stigmas of golf, of the snobbery aspect and the rules. I'm just doing away with it.
Yeah.
And we don't have a dress code. I'm not interested what people wear on the golf course.
Yeah.
What you wear and I'm on the golf course has no bearing on me playing 2 groups behind you.
No.
And the dress is no longer any representation of character. The biggest crooks in society.
Or how good you play.
No, the biggest crooks in society all wear suits. I've seen them on the news. But what you're wearing is no basis of character anymore.
Yeah.
And I think, generally speaking, golfers are decent folk.
Yeah.
If you treat your customers with a bit of respect, they'll respect you back.
Of course they will.
I don't need to patronise my customers with rules on this and that and that.
Yeah.
They're decent people.
Yeah.
And so far that's proving to be the case.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to open the doors a bit. Now, the more people that come here and enjoy golf, that's going to benefit other golf clubs in the area, because I realise that once they've been playing here for a year or two and they get up to speed, they perhaps want to go and join a members club.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's who we are. We're a feeder.
Yeah, but it's like a conveyor belt, isn't it? It just brings through the new.
And clearly 2 or 3 of the other
players.
Local clubs have twigged that.
Yeah.
And have very kindly offered us use of machinery, even staff, where they've said, what can we help you out with?
Yeah.
Because they can see that we're a big player in the whole industry here to create golfers that benefit them also. And I'm quite, if they scratch my back, I'll scratch theirs. It's how it should be. We should all be pulling in the same direction here.
Yeah, brilliant.
And it's not in competition.
No.
We sit in different parts of the market.
That's great. It's great to see, like you say, you're not seen as competition. You're all seen as kind of helping each other, and it's quite rare in business, isn't it? And with anything. But no, that's been great. That's been really. I've loved my time having a look. So really appreciate your time, Anders.
Anytime, everybody's welcome.
And if it's okay with you, we'll come back in for our August episode of Love Oadby, and
hopefully a bit better weather.
Hopefully we'll order the sunshine that day. We forgot to put the order in, and maybe have a try on one of the holes, or even in that driving range and practice on one of the holes. So
fantastic.
Really appreciate your time.
Thank you
very much.
Take care.